Last time we caught up with Lon Philip Sullivan from LSU Odyssey. Of course, he was right there taking in spring practice in Baton Rouge at the football facility. Now he's back at home and still always, regardless of where he's on the planet, tracking LSU football for us. Lon, we appreciate you being here.
What's up, Mark? How you doing, my man?
Doing well, doing well. And you have just a plethora of information from recent happenings at spring practice. So I guess we'll start at the top of the board with this quarterback situation with Myles Brennan and Jayden Daniels. Is there anything that leads us to believe that this is leaning one way or the other?
Well, Mark, I mean, Brennan did make an impressive 65-yard bomb down the field to Jare Jenkins. He did receive rave reviews from a lot of people in the recruiting services media who were there. A lot of different LSU luminaries in the media world were saying, he won the day over Jayden Daniels. But when you go back and watch the footage, when it came down to contested throws, passes into tight windows, on critical downs, third down as well, in the red zone, these situational moments, he came up short once again. Third down was Myles Brennan's biggest problem in 2020 as a starter. He has to get that fixed before you can make him the starter for LSU. I mean, he's really one-dimensional with his arm. It's all got to be there. He's putting these passes that they're way too many uncatchable passes, Mark, on these contested routes. Just too many uncatchable passes. Just way too high up in there. It's just not. He didn't have his best day as much as he got the rave reviews. He threw an interception to Greg Brooks though, and then on the next play throws that long touchdown to Jare. So I like how he bounced back there, but once again, the critical down stuff, it's just getting to me. And some of those throws were just, you can't give him rave reviews after watching that. Jayden Daniels, he's looking like he's bailing out of plays far too early, Mark. He's not realizing that window is a lot faster in the SEC. It closes a lot faster in the SEC, even during spring practice. I know they're going half speed, but even against these athletes, they're coming fast, and I don't think he's caught up to the speed yet of the game. He gave up on a lot of plays way too early. Found himself getting swallowed up on a few plays where he tried to extend or scramble. His passing was accurate. From what I could tell, he didn't miss a pass, but all of his passes were lacking velocity, proper trajectory. He's leaving them just a bit high and inside rather than high and away. And that's the same problem with Myles. And it's just, it could absolutely kill us in some of these big games against the best DBs. It's with the fine details between Brennan and Daniels, they're coming up short right now. I like what I'm seeing from Brennan more just because Jayden Daniels, there's so many variables and factors he's got to overcome right now. Just to be named the starter. At the same time, his athleticism is undeniable. It's just his decision-making combined with the athleticism. Once he puts it all together, where will we be at? Once Myles puts it all together, where will we be at? It's going to be hard between those two to kind of find a winner in spring. But Garrett Nussmeier, Mark, the coaches know how strong his long ball arm is. What it's about for him is moving the chains, being patient. He loves to extend plays. He loves to be kind of Johnny Manziel, run around the backfield, and he loves those secondary routes. That's part of his magic, undeniably. But this offense is predicated on the ball coming out, with minimal fuss, just the ball coming out quickly, getting the offense into a rhythm. And that's what the offensive coaching staff has been stressing with him. Mike Denbrock, offensive coordinator, Joe Sloan, the quarterback's coach, getting the ball out quick in the RPO action, moving the chains. And he was making more conservative, safe throws, but that's, I think, what the coaching staff wanted to see from him. But a little more about Nussmeier. He was actually asked, Mark, in the media availability about skipping the Texas Bowl to keep his red shirt. It was a pretty intense moment. It's a question I've been dying to ask as well. His answer was pretty smart. I mean, he answered the question without answering it, but a lot of stuff about being from Louisiana, and he was born in Lake Charles before he moved to Texas, and stuff about being hurt by not being able to help the guys out there. I wasn't able to hurt. It hurt me not being able to be out there and help the guys, but he was able to. He just chose not to. That's the truth of it, which is fine. A meaningless game. Don't want to waste your red shirt. That's fine. I get it, but on the other hand, Mark, what an opportunity wasted to impress Kelly and really rally this team around him going into this quarterback battle. And, right or wrong, that's kind of how I view it is, no judgment on, saving the red shirt, but the truth is he did waste an opportunity there.
Jayden Daniels coming off an unimpressive, as we've discussed before, 10 touchdown, 10 interception season, but we would really need to break down the tape, of course, to see what responsibility goes to him versus wide receiver breakdowns, offensive line breakdowns, and so forth. Arizona State did not have the personnel around him that they had before, and this is a guy that, and I'm not going to pretend to have watched a lot of Arizona State football last year, but I did see him play a lot during his super freshman season of 17 TDs and 2 picks, and he just doesn't seem to have progressed since then. You mentioned the elusiveness, the dynamic playmaking ability, and all of that. This would lead me to believe that Myles Brennan needs to check the other boxes, because Daniels would be the default in regards to, okay, this is a close race. Let's go Daniels, because he can make 3 or 4 plays a game with his legs.
Exactly. And that's, Myles, I saw him make a few escape, some nice plays, but, he was actually touch sacked on a few of those plays. Whether or not in a live game he would have escaped those collapsing pockets or not, who's to say? But all in all, I didn't like how, he was very slow to understand when everything was kind of closing in on him, and where to go, where would be the space, where to find the space. Jayden Daniels, it seems like he knows where to find the space. It's just kind of getting all of the timing, getting all of the rhythm, getting all of the speed up to speed, really, of that is the window that looks open, but it's going to close because this guy's going to get off that block. Whereas in the Pac-12, maybe that guy will never get off that block. I'm good. That hole will be there. He will understand that just from the feel of the conference, the feel of the game, the feel of his experience. The SEC, he's going to have to still get to that. But Myles Brennan simply does not have that in his game. He's going to have to get some type of elusiveness in the pocket. He's going to have to find a way to get the ball out of his hands very quick and just maximize that part of his game and just focus on purely out passing Jayden Daniels. But really, like you said, Mark, if I'm the coach, if it comes down to it, and this is neck and neck, and Jayden Daniels is putting Myles Brennan's passing arm at least up against the wall, competing for that spot every rep with his passing arm as well as his legs, you might want to go default with Jayden Daniels there, like you said. But there is Walker Howard. He's looked great as well. I get that he's a freshman. I understand he's a year away realistically, but he's got it, Mark. He's so damn good. He's just so sharp throughout. And as far as pure quarterback talent at LSU, he might be the best on the roster right now. I forget about the age. I have to put that in, because Walker, what I've seen from him, dealing with an injury to his thumb, it's just pretty stellar.
And your point line's well taken about the NFL talent in the SEC versus the Pac-12. Are there NFL players in the Pac-12? Absolutely. Are there going to be monster players in the Pac-12 that move on to the NFL? It's about quantity. It's about facing an Alabama, Texas A&M kind of defense and being like, everybody out here is playing in the NFL. And about 4 or 5 of them are going to be premium players in the NFL versus, okay, we're playing Utah. 4 or 5 of these guys are going to play in the NFL, and like 1 or 2 are going to be studs. It's just all about the mass volume of ridiculous talent, of course, in that conference.